What if the reason someone falls in love with you has nothing to do with your looks, your charm, or even your kindness, but with the hidden parts of their own soul that you unknowingly awaken? Carl Jung believed that love is never an accident. Attraction is not random lightning striking out of nowhere. It is a mirror. Every relationship is, in some way, a reflection of the unconscious. When someone loves you, they are not only seeing you, they are also seeing themselves. This is the unsettling and yet liberating truth. Love reveals what is missing, what is buried, what is forgotten inside us. The people we fall for are often the carriers of our unlived lives. Jung called this process projection, the unconscious act of casting our hidden qualities onto another person. Think about it. Why are we drawn to certain people with an intensity that defies logic? Why does one glance ignite a spark while another leaves us untouched? Jung would say, because they carry a piece of us we have lost. Reason 1. They love you because you embody what they lack. A man who has always lived in rigid discipline may fall head over heels for someone spontaneous, wild, and free. A woman who has been taught to silence her anger may be enchanted by someone who burns with unapologetic passion. An introvert may fall deeply for the extrovert who speaks the words they never dare to say. This is not mere preference. It is the psyche seeking balance. The unconscious longs for wholeness, and it tries to achieve that wholeness through others. When we meet someone who embodies what we repress, deny, or neglect, love ignites. Jung described it as a magnetic pull, the sense that the other person holds something of ours. It feels like fate, destiny, even soul recognition, but what we are recognizing is often not their true self, but our own disowned qualities shining back at us. Imagine the disciplined man. All his life he has prized control. He has hidden his longing for freedom, afraid it would unravel him. Then he meets her, the woman who laughs too loudly, dances in the rain, refuses to obey rules. Suddenly he feels alive. He thinks he loves her. But what he is really encountering is his own repressed freedom, projected onto her. Or, think of the kind, accommodating woman. She has been raised to be gentle, agreeable, never to raise her voice. Inside her burns anger, but she buries it deep. Then she meets a man who is fiery, confrontational, unafraid of conflict. She is captivated. To her, he feels powerful, but the truth is, she is meeting her own disowned fire. This is the paradox of love. We seek in others the parts of ourselves we have forgotten. Love, then, is not only desire, it is psychology in motion. But projection is double-edged. At first, it intoxicates us. We see the other person as magical, extraordinary, our missing half. But sooner or later, the illusion cracks. We realize they are not gods or saviors. They are human. The freedom-loving woman is not always enchanting. Sometimes she is reckless. The fiery man is not always passionate. Sometimes he is cruel. Disillusionment sets in. The projection collapses. Many relationships end here, in bitterness and blame. We say, they changed. They betrayed me. They are not who I thought they were. In truth, they did not change. What changed is that we stopped seeing them as our projection and started seeing them as themselves. Jung warned that without awareness, projection turns love into a trap. We chase reflections instead of people. We demand others carry our unlived lives, and when they fail, we discard them, only to repeat the cycle with someone new. But Jung also believed projection is not a mistake. It is a necessary stage. Through it, we meet our own shadow, our own unlived qualities. Love draws them out, forces us to confront them. The collapse of projection is painful, yes, but it is also the chance to reclaim what we projected. To say, that freedom I adored in her, it lives in me too. That fire I admired in him, it belongs to me as well. When we do this, love transforms. It ceases to be possession and becomes integration. The other person is no longer just a mirror. They are a partner, flawed and real, with whom we can walk the path of individuation, the journey to become whole. If the first reason we fall in love is because the other embodies what we lack, then the second reason cuts even deeper. Jung believed that our most powerful attractions are shaped not only by personal wounds and desires, but by archetypes, universal patterns in the collective unconscious. Chief among these are the Anima and the Animus. The Anima is the inner feminine in a man's psyche. The Animus is the inner masculine in a woman's psyche. These figures are not mere fantasies. They are ancient, archetypal images that carry the mystery of the opposite sex. Every man, Jung said, carries an inner woman, a voice of emotion, creativity, intuition. Every woman carries an inner man, a voice of reason, strength, logos. But because we are rarely conscious of these inner figures, we encounter them in the outer world. We project them onto the people we fall in love with. This is why sometimes love feels mythic. We meet someone and feel as though destiny itself has introduced us. We say, "She is my muse. He is my hero." What we are really meeting is our own anima or animus, clothed in the body of another. For a man, the anima might appear as a mysterious, enchanting woman, radiant, elusive, half angel, half siren. She seems to open doors to feeling and depth he has never known. For a woman, the animus may appear as a powerful, confident man, wise, decisive, even divine. He seems to carry authority that she longs to access within herself. But here lies the danger. The anima and animus are not human beings. They are archetypes, immense, timeless forces. When we project them onto a partner, we burden them with expectations they can never fulfill. No woman can truly embody the infinite anima. No man can truly embody the infinite animus. And so sooner or later, disillusionment comes. A man may worship a woman as his goddess, only to resent her when she proves human, with flaws and moods. A woman may adore a man as her savior, only to rage when he fails to live up to her ideal. Love collapses under the weight of archetypal projection. Jung saw this collapse not as failure, but as initiation. To withdraw the projection of the anima or animus is one of the hardest tasks of life. It requires us to stop seeking our soul in another and begin cultivating it within. The anima's creativity, the animus's strength, these are not gifts to be begged from a lover. They are qualities to be developed in ourselves. When a man integrates his anima, he becomes more whole, not only rational, but also feeling, intuitive, connected to life's mysteries. When a woman integrates her animus, she too becomes more whole, not only emotional, but also strong, articulate, capable of shaping her destiny. The task of love, then, is not to possess the other, but to awaken the self. Lovers are catalysts, mirrors, guides. They summon the anima and animus to the surface so that we may meet them, wrestle with them, and integrate them. This is why Jung called love a sacred drama. It is never just two people. It is always four, man and woman, plus the anima and animus they project. Every romance is crowded with archetypes, whispering their lines, demanding to be seen. And so, the second reason people love you is this. You have become, for them, the face of their inner archetype. You embody their anima or animus, their inner image of the opposite, and through you they taste the fullness of their own soul. It is intoxicating, it is dangerous, it is transformative. Every love story begins with enchantment, but enchantment cannot last forever. Projections, whether of the shadow, the anima, or the animus, eventually collapse. The goddess reveals her humanity, the hero reveals his flaws, and what once felt like destiny begins to feel like disappointment. This is the great heartbreak of love, the shattering of the illusion. We thought we had found perfection. Instead, we discover another imperfect human being. For Jung, this collapse was not a tragedy, it was the real beginning. He insisted that disillusionment is the doorway to true love. Only when the projection breaks can we see the other person as they are, not as our fantasy, but as themselves. Think of a man who adored his partner as his muse. At first, she seemed magical, always inspiring, always radiant. But over time, he grew frustrated. She had bad days. She doubted herself. She did not live up to his image of endless inspiration. Anger grew. The relationship faltered. Or consider a woman who loved her partner as a savior. He was strong, decisive, a rock in every storm. But one day he faltered. He failed. He was human. She felt betrayed. "You are not who I thought you were," she said. Jung would reply, "Of course not. They were never who you thought. You were in love not with them, but with your own projection. And now that the illusion has died, you have a choice. You can flee, chase another illusion, or you can begin the real work of love. That real work is individuation through relationship. When projection collapses, we are confronted with the qualities we once saw in the other. They are not gone. They are ours to claim. The man must discover his own creativity rather than demanding it from her. The woman must find her own strength rather than expecting him to embody it. Love, in this sense, is an initiation. First we project. Then the projection collapses. Then comes the moment of truth. Will we reclaim what we projected, or will we keep running? Jung compared it to alchemy. The early stage is enchantment, the albedo, the whitening, the glow of perfection. The collapse is the nigredo, the blackening, the dark night of disillusionment. But if we endure, if we integrate, we reach the rubedo, the reddening, the union of opposites, the birth of the self. This is why so many relationships fail. Most people cannot bear the collapse of projection. They believe love has died, when in fact it has just begun. They leave, only to repeat the cycle with someone new. Enchantment, collapse, departure. Over and over. The unconscious remains unintegrated. The shadow grows darker. But those who stay, who endure the collapse, discover something extraordinary. They find not only a partner, but themselves. They learn to see the other as a flawed, real human, and to love them as such, not for their perfection, but for their wholeness. Jung called this the emergence of the self through relationship. Love becomes a crucible. It burns away illusions and forces us to grow. It shows us our projections, our wounds, our hidden archetypes, and demands that we take them back. In this sense, heartbreak is sacred. The pain of disillusionment is not meaningless suffering. It is the psyche forcing us to evolve. It is the death of fantasy and the birth of truth. To love after projection is to love consciously. It is to say, I see you, not as my goddess or my savior, but as yourself. And I choose you anyway. Such love is rarer, quieter, less intoxicating than the first blaze of passion, but it is deeper, steadier, truer. It is not possession, it is partnership, not illusion, but integration. And so, the third reason people love you is this. Through you, they are forced to meet themselves. Your presence draws out their projections, and your humanity shatters them. In that shattering lies the possibility of transformation. Love, then, is not just romance. It is individuation in disguise. Love begins with mystery, burns with projection, shatters with disillusionment, and if we are brave enough, it ends with transformation. For Jung, this was the secret gift of love. Not happiness, not security, but wholeness. He wrote, "Through the process of projection, one can recognize one's own contents. But this recognition is a moral achievement beyond the capacity of most people. Love is the mirror that forces this recognition. It shows us the anima, the animus, the shadow. It breaks our illusions and demands that we reclaim what is ours. This is why Jung did not idealize romance. He saw it as a sacred ordeal. To love is to step into the fire. At first it dazzles, then it burns, then it refines. And if we endure, it leaves us not purified but integrated, not perfect but whole. The final stage of love, Jung believed, is the discovery of the self. Not the persona we show the world, not the ego that demands possession, but the deeper self that embraces both light and dark. In love, we are invited to meet this self through the mirror of another soul. Consider the arc. At first, We are captivated by what the other embodies, the qualities we lack. Then, we are enchanted by archetypes, Anima, Animus, wearing their face. Next, the illusion breaks, pain enters, disappointment crushes us. But if we endure, something new arises, the ability to love consciously, to love without illusion, to love as an act of recognition and freedom. Such love is not blind. It sees flaws. It knows the other cannot complete us. And yet, it chooses. It chooses to walk together, to grow, to carry the burden of shadow and the light of the self side by side. This, Jung said, is individuation through relationship. Love is not the end of the journey. It is the path itself. Each attraction, each heartbreak, each reconciliation is a step toward wholeness. And what of those who cannot endure, who chase projections endlessly? Jung was compassionate, but firm. He believed that repeated failures in love are the psyche's way of insisting you must turn inward. You must meet the figures you seek outside within yourself. Until we do, we are doomed to repeat the cycle. But there is hope in this truth. For every failed love, every heartbreak, is not wasted. Each one reveals a fragment of the self, a clue to what we have denied. If we gather these fragments, we move closer to integration. The ashes of lost love can fertilize the soil of individuation. In this light, love is not just romance. It is initiation. It is the alchemy of souls. It takes us apart and puts us back together, not as we were, but as we are meant to be. And so the final reason people love you is this. Through you, they glimpse themselves. Through you, they are shattered. Through you, they are remade. This is the paradox Jung revealed. Love is not about finding someone who completes us. It is about finding someone who awakens us, someone who draws out our shadow, summons our archetypes, collapses our projections, and in the end, leads us back to ourselves. It is never easy. It is rarely painless. But it is the privilege of a lifetime. For to love, in the Jungian sense, is to walk the path of individuation together. Two flawed souls, carrying mirrors, daring to see, daring to stay, daring to become whole. So the question is not, who will love me? The question is, what will I discover in myself when love finds me? For in every embrace lies a revelation, in every heartbreak, a lesson, and in every true love, the invitation to awaken.